My name is My pronouns are he, him, and this is my cancer story. First off, don't mind the the post cosplay eyeliner. I just got out of cosplay. I was cosplaying Papa Emeritus from Ghost. If you know who that is, I love you, actually. Marry me right now, actually. Yeah. Anyway, this is unrelated. I have been inactive on this channel for a multitude of reasons. This is going to be an unscripted video, so if I get to the point where I'm yapping a little bit, just be patient with me. One of the reasons I have been inactive is because I just grew out of it. I still do make music. I still, I've moved on from ukulele, and Cavetown. I've got 2 different guitars. I've got an electric, I've got an acoustic. I still do music. And I probably would have been posting more of it if it wasn't, something that I had been going through for the past year or so. Over a year, actually. In November of 2022, I was on my school's speech and debate team. I was on Student Congress, and for Student Congress, we were at the state competition, which was at our state's capital. It was a 2-day competition, and we stayed at a hotel in the city. At the end of the first day, I started noticing a searing, terrible pain in my knee. It was a 10 out of 10 pain. It was the worst pain I had ever felt. I could not even comprehend how bad it was. When I got back home, we went to the doctor, and I was diagnosed with Osgood-Schlatter's disease, which is typically an overuse injury that athletes would get. People who do a lot of running and jumping, people who do sports, especially when you're still growing. So we were told that that's what I had. First off, things didn't really add up. We noticed that, first of all, I'm not an athlete. I'm not a very active person physically. So we were very confused on why I had an athletic injury. Second of all was the pain was so much infinitely worse than what Osgood-Schlatter's would usually be. And second is a sign of Osgood-Schlatter's disease is a little bump right below your kneecap, and that's like your inflamed tendon. So that's what we had been told that I had for 7 months straight. After physical therapy and just regular, medication to manage pain hadn't been working, I was at my grandparents' house. We were about to leave. We were about to drive we were gonna drive from Houston all the way up to where I currently live in North Dakota. So, right before we left, I started noticing that I was getting the beginning of a flare-up. I would have these flare-up days where it'd be really bad. Some days it would be fine. My pain would be totally alright. Other days it would be so bad I could not move. I was bedridden. Throughout these 7 months, by the way, we were having regular check-ins with our primary care doctor. She wasn't technically a doctor, she was a nurse practitioner, which is like one step below doctor. But we were having regular check-ins with her. And for all intents and purposes, I'm gonna call her my doctor from now on, because that's what she functioned as. So, for the remainder of this, 25-hour car ride, I was in excruciating pain. The worst pain I had ever felt. Pain like you would not imagine. It felt like I was getting shot in the leg over and over and over and over again. We called our doctor in town, at the clinic in my town, to see if we could schedule a scan. Or at the very least, get something stronger than ibuprofen, because that's what I had been taking. By this point, the swelling in my knee was about twice as big as your knee should look. Reminder that in Osgood-Schlatter's disease, you have a little bit of swelling right below your kneecap, while this was completely around my knee. We got the MRI, and we were told by my doctor that they had found a mass at the bottom of my femur. When you hear a doctor say that they found a mass, that's obviously alarming, but we weren't sure what it meant yet, so a couple hours later we were able to get another scan. And the doctor said that this looks like an aggressive type of bone cancer called osteosarcoma, that only about 300 cases a year are reported. In the time that I was misdiagnosed, the cancer had the chance to spread to my lungs. I had the primary tumor that was in my leg, and it was about the size of a newborn baby's head when they found it, is what we were told. I also had about 10 nodules in my lungs. They were in both my lungs. There were more in one than the other, but I had about 10 teeny tiny little tumors in my lungs. I was officially diagnosed in June of 2023, and I started treatment in July of 2023. The first operation that I would need after, I believe, 3 rounds of chemo, which I will say, for my flavor of osteosarcoma, I was given the most powerful chemo that is legally allowed to be prescribed to me as a minor. It is widely agreed upon that chemotherapy sucks in general, but among them, different kinds can be worse than others. I had the 2 worst of the worst, which is cisplatin and doxorubicin, which is nicknamed the Red Devil. In September, not quite a year ago today, I celebrated my 1-year leg-iversary a couple days ago. But about a year ago, I had my leg amputated from the knee, or above the knee. And in November, I had surgery on both of my lungs. I had tubes coming out of my body that went up into my lungs. After several more rounds of chemotherapy, I was done. And I was declared cancer-free. But as of now, I am not considered cured. The reason for this is that even though there's no detectable cancer in you, the general rule of thumb is that you're not cured until you've gone 5 entire years without having a recurrence. And the reason for that is because those 5 years, it's in that 5-year stretch where if it's going to come back, it will come back in the next 5 years. I just finished my chemo recently, so I will not be declared cured until a couple of years in the future. About when I'm 21. Because I'm 16 at the moment. My treatment went for about 9 months. And it seemed like an eternity. Anyone who's had cancer, no matter how long their treatment goes on for, they will tell you it feels like a lifetime. I finished chemotherapy back in May of this year, of 2024. And I am still recovering from the aftermath of not only what the chemo did to my body, but also the psychological damage. I now have fairly severe PTSD, and I still have health issues that were caused by the treatment given to me for my cancer. I am now attending school normally, and things are normal for the most part. If you guys remember, my hair used to be stick straight, but since my hair has grown back since having chemo, I have gotten what you call chemo curls, which is where after you have chemotherapy, your hair, when it grows back, so you lose your hair during chemo, when it grows back, it might grow back curly or with a different texture. Sometimes people even have it grow back a different color. Sometimes, most of the time, it would grow back blonde. Mine did not grow back blonde. This is my natural color. I'm putting out this video to raise awareness about childhood cancer, especially sarcomas. Sarcomas are some of the most painful and difficult to treat cancers there are, especially for children. Sarcomas are also the second most common type of cancer that a child can get, right next to leukemia. In addition to raising awareness, I am putting out this video to essentially tell people that if you think something is wrong, you should tell someone. I'm not encouraging people to be a hypochondriac. After having cancer, you just become a hypochondriac naturally, but I am telling you guys that if you feel that your doctor might be wrong, you express that concern to them. You get a second opinion. For the love of God, don't end up like my one-legged self. And obviously, I was 15 when I was diagnosed. I'm 16 now. But it is so, so important to be aware that you have a choice in your medical things. Yeah, so that's where I've been. Throughout this video, I have shown you some pictures of me before, after, and during treatment. Maybe I'll upload in the future some more music, and maybe I won't. We'll see. If you are seeing this, chances are this video won't have very good reach, so if you're seeing this, it probably means you were subscribed to me before. Which, if you were subscribed to me before, chances are you've been subscribed for a long time, since I have not posted in so long. Or I post so sparingly. So, if you have been subscribed, chances are you've been subscribed since way before I had cancer, way before hell, like, I remember some frequent commenters who had been following my channel since I made it when I was literally 12 years old, which is so crazy to think about. I made it back in 2020, making like shitty little Cave Town covers on my little Amazon ukulele. But thank you. This is my cancer story, and I hope that this is able to raise some awareness to sarcomas, osteosarcoma specifically. Thank you. And like, stay room temperature, or whatever I used to say at the end of my videos.